Hi guys, welcome to today's session, and today we are going to discuss about Disaster Management Act of 2005. In this session we'll first discuss features of Disaster Management Act 2005. Then we'll discuss the progress made by Disaster Management Act 2005, and then we'll discuss the criticism of Disaster Management Act, and finally the very famous National Disaster Management Authority. So this is how I plan this session. Let's now start. So guys, the Disaster Management Act of 2005 is an act passed by Government of India for the efficient management of disasters and other matters connected to it. And it was in news related with COVID-19 and the lockdown implemented in the states and across our country. And the major features, if you see, there are some governing bodies established under the Disaster Management Act of 2005. And the first one is National Disaster Management Authority. It is headed by Prime Minister as the chairperson and will have no more than 9 members, including a vice chairperson. All the members will have a tenure of 5 years. And the main responsibility of National Disaster Management Authority is to lay down policies, plans and guidelines for disaster management to ensure an effective response in the event of any disaster. So that is NDMA. Now we have a National Executive Committee. The Disaster Management Act empowers the central government to create a National Executive Committee to assist National Disaster Management Authority, and the Executive Committee consists of secretary level officers of government in the Home Ministry, Health Ministry, Power, Finance and Agricultural Ministries. And the Executive Committee is responsible for the preparation of National Disaster Management Plan for the whole country and to ensure that it is reviewed and updated annually. And then we have the State Disaster Management Authority, SDMA, which is responsible for drawing the disaster plan for respective states. It consists of Chief Minister, who is the chairperson, and 8 members appointed by the Chief Minister. And SDMA is mandated under Section 28 to ensure that all the departments of the state prepare disaster management plans as prescribed by the national and state authorities. And then we have that this District Disaster Management Authority, that is the chairperson of District Disaster Management Authority will be the collector or district magistrate or deputy commissioner of the district. And then we have the National Disaster Response Force, NDRF, which is tasked with responding to a threatening disaster or a situation similar to it. And the NDRF is led by Director General appointed by the central government, and NDRF has played a major role in rescuing people from many disaster related events in the past, such as Kashmir floods in 2014, Kerala floods in 2018, and many cyclone related disasters. NDRF played its role very commendable. And so that are the bodies established by the Disaster Management Act of 2005. Now we discuss what are the progress made by Disaster Management Act of 2005. So guys, the Disaster Management Act is based on the principle belief that mitigation of disaster related losses is efficient, that expenditure on relief and rehabilitation, and the drawing up plans for strategic partnerships and course of actions to counter disasters of various degrees. The Act has made significant inroads in detailed directions to guide disaster management efforts, capacity development in all spheres, consolidation of past initiatives and best practices, cooperation with agencies at national and international levels. So these are the progress made by Disaster Management Act of 2005. Now discuss what are the criticisms of Disaster Management Act. Even though the Disaster Management Act has filled crucial gaps regarding disaster management in India, it still comes with its fair share of criticism. One of its drawbacks is the absence of a provision for declaration of disaster-prone zones. The state can play more active role when such provisions are made, as this classification can help in mitigating the damages that will be caused. And the Act implies that disasters are a sudden occurrence when in fact there can be a progressive in nature as well. For example, epidemics can be considered as disasters despite conventional definition, as it does take thousands of lives in its course. And epidemics of dengue and tuberculosis cause a lot of havoc, yet no effective mechanism is in place to combat it. And the new disaster management guidelines are underway, and one can only hope it incorporates provisions to overcome dysfunctions of the current authorities, and not oversee yet again the valuable role that civil society, private enterprises, and NGOs can play towards building a safer India. So this is regarding the disaster criticisms of Disaster Management Act. Now few words about the National Disaster Management Authority. So friends, the National Disaster Management Authority is the apex statutory body for disaster management in India. It was formally constituted in 27th September 2006 in accordance with the Disaster Management Act 2005. And as we said, the Prime Minister is its chairperson and 9 other members. And the primary purpose is to coordinate response to natural and or man-made disasters, and for capacity building in disaster resiliency and crisis response. It is apex body to lay down policies, plans, and guidelines for disaster management to ensure timely and effective response to disasters. And it also aims to build a safer and disaster resilient India by a holistic, proactive, technology-driven, and sustainable development strategy that involves in all stakeholders and fosters a culture of prevention, preparedness, and mitigation. So that is about the National Disaster Management Authority, and that's all about this particular topic, guys. It's a very important topic as with related with the COVID-19 pandemic and the national-wide lockdown. Disaster Management Authority as always in the news. So it's a very important topic for this year. Please study about this, and that's all for today. Thank you for watching this lesson.